All right, Sketch81. I think it's time to have some fun. Now, I think we've been having fun with all of these. I hope whoever is watching out there is enjoying themselves to some degree, at least being inspired a little bit to try something new and do something a little bit off the beaten path, sound-wise. So in that vein, I wanted to explore a little bit of VCV Rack. Now, I put the link to where you can download. This is a free plugin that somebody has ported from the VCV Rack, which is now on version 1.0. The only caveat with this one is that it's stuck up at version 0.61. Now, don't let that fool you. There is, of course, still so much you can do with this. I was messing around with this the other day, and this free plugin comes with like just so many different types of modules that you can mess around with. A lot of different in an endless supply. You know, VCV 1.0 is still free. There's a whole ton of free and well-maintained modules for that. So I do recommend checking that out as well. The only caveat with that is, of course, there's no VST version. You can't just load it up easily inside of your DAW or whatever. You have to run that separately, and you can run audio from that using, at least in Windows, you've got Cable, which is VB Audio makes a free version of this. I've gotten like multiple of these virtual cables here, but the free one just comes with like one single channel, and you can route out of the main VCV Rack standalone app 1.0 into Ableton as well. But for now, let's mess around with this free VST port that somebody did and just see what happens. Honestly, I have not messed with this so much that I think I'm going to be able to create something amazing right off the bat. I think this is going to be one of those sketches where we sort of fumble around a bit and hope for the best in terms of ending up somewhere interesting. So I know the first thing we've got to do is get a core audio out. If I just search for audio, there's this audio module, and this allows us, so anything we link into here will be audio out. Let's go ahead and get an oscillator going. And there's a few oscillators here. If we scroll down, we see like just way too many options here. There's a lot of, you can star the ones you love. Let's just click sway. I don't know. This might actually not be what we want. So you right click in there. And the cool thing is, whoever ported this to VST, I believe there's a Mac and a Linux version, I believe, which is really cool. Let's just go with so this is the sort of made by, I believe these modules here, these white ones, are made by the guy who created this VCV Rack. They're kind of like the built-in ones, but there's so many third-party ones that the fundamental ones I think are kind of like the generic out of the box ones. They still sound pretty good though. And then you've got all these other brands. Let's see, try LFO, and then tons of effects. So there's an effect rack version of this as well, which is pretty cool. So let's get a mixer in there so we can mix our sounds. Let's use this 8-channel mixer. I'm just kind of randomly grabbing ones from the search. You can click and drag these. If you want to insert one, I think on PC you hold down Control and you can move it up, and it kind of pushes itself into. Let's see here. Actually, no. I'm thinking of version 1.0. So yes, 0.61 definitely doesn't have all the bells and whistles that 1.0 has. I do like that you can easily scroll around things. Okay, anyway, let's see. Let's get a MIDI note going here. And we need a MIDI in. Like any kind of modular thing, you got to have all your components. I think core is going to be MIDI 1. Let's just do that, and let's let's just kind of build our classical composer module. Let's see, frequency, let me filter, form and filter, VCF, yeah, fundamentals. We're just kind of sticking with some generic ones today. So let's route some things here. Let's route out from the square to the in here. We got low pass, high pass out on that. It's nice because when you do click and drag on this, you see all the ones go dark that you cannot plug into, and the ones that stay light you can plug into. So we could have a sine wave FM modulating this frequency. Let's get an ADSR. All right, cool. And I think, let's see if we can resize this at all. I don't know if we actually can resize this window here. Yeah, we might be stuck with this kind of size, which is, you know, I think it's probably, that's fine, we'll make do. All right, so let's see, we want the out of this to affect the volume. So level CV on our mixer. And let's get a little more opacity on these cables. Let's see, where is that? Lock modules. Like, is that doing anything? I don't know if that's actually doing anything. Let's see, internal sampling. No, I don't think we want to do that. And maybe it's a right click in here. No, that's, cable opacity. Okay, right in front of me. All right, so let's pull sound. Let's see, let's pull from MIDI, gate, and maybe we need a gate on our ADSR, yes. And do we have a retrigger somewhere in here? Yes, so let's get that set up there. VCO, we've got square going into our VCF. So let's take the low pass out and plug it into our inputs here. And then get our outputs going in here to, yeah, to there. Let's see. Of course, you know, we don't hear anything. Let's make sure we've got this note playing. Sounds like a note's playing. Cool. Let's get an arpeggiator. And obviously we have sequencers in here we could try to use. 16 step, you know, this is pretty hefty looking. You probably need a clock on that. Yeah, most sequencer type stuff in modular programs, you need a clock. And then a divider to divide down the clock. Oh, did I even type that right? Clock. Clock modulator. Oh, I guess this is, yeah, I clicked on sort of the filter. Let's see, clock. Let's go back. There's probably just like a fundamental basic clock here, LFO1. We need to quad LFO, that sounds fun. BPM clock, yes, basic. Yeah, this brand, you can see most of the brands try to stick to a sort of a color scheme so they can sort of stand out and look nice on their own. Let's see, let's go out by the beat and connect to clock. So you can see we've got dots flashing here and our steps are moving along there. Gates, yeah, we could reroute this gate here. I'm not sure what this will do. And we can, instead of the beat, we could do 16ths even faster. So let's go ahead and save that. And I did some tests before. It's nice because this plugin, it saves this state for you, which is really great. We can also hit configure here and just move around any knob, and it, I guess when you create a module, this plugin automatically assigns, and I think that may be what these numbers here are. This is like the amount, and this is the number for the, I guess, assigned, you know, whatever number for the knob. So we could, which if you're using the main VCV 1.0, you could send MIDI from, say, Ableton using something like the free, at least on PC, you'd use the free Loop BE driver, which is a nice one. The paid for version gives you so many more channels too to play with. And it looks like you can see the flashes here. It's only like every so often for row 3. 1, 2, 3. One thing I found really fascinating with with VCV Rack is you can randomize. You can just sort of click on one of these and just hit Control R. It's very easy to get weird sounds out of VCV Rack really quickly. It does sort of hog CPU, as you'll notice. You can, with this plugin, you can do some step downs. I've not really experimented with that. We could try, you know, half Cs, half times. Let's see. Undersample, yeah. Low. Yeah, you can hear that's like 22 or 11 kilohertz. I mean, it's an interesting tone and texture all in and of itself, so, you know, some may find that interesting. If you're running, you know, this through speakers and a PA in a room, it may not be super noticeable, to be honest. And no resampling. Lots of oversampling. You can go very, very high and get some, although I found some of these modules don't sound quite as good. I like to keep it at 48. I feel like everything sounds pretty nice at that rate. Now let's get some pitch controlling our VCO, and you can double click, or let's see, yeah, is it right click? I think, yeah, resets the knobs to their default. So let's see, I think it's CV octave. So let's try some randomizer here. MIDI effects, where did you run off to? I'm always getting lost. Here we go. We could further subdivide the notes coming in here. So at this point, we don't even really need this. We can just have our gate come from our MIDI module. So we've got this sign here messing around with the drive, but I don't know if that's actually really doing much. Yeah, it's a little tad digital and clicky with the attack at 0, but I guess that's... But for the most part, it sounds pretty decent. We could do much more interesting stuff very quickly, I think, with just the built-in Ableton stuff as we've done in previous sketches. Although this is kind of fun, you know, it's a whole new... I'd like to start using this plugin a whole lot more. And then the nice thing is if you guys are downloading, and gals, I should say, 0.61, you will have access to these patches. If I can get to the point where I can actually build interesting sounding patches, that is. And right now, this is not that interesting. Let's try some effects. You know, that's always fun. Let's see. I'm going to just see what granular brings up. We've got a whole tag, granular. So we've got quite a few options here. Let's do dust. I'm not sure what. Oh, this looks like it. I recognize this from the Cherry Audio Voltage plugin, which is also a nice, just like a whole different type of sound, where VCV sounds a little bit, I want to say, clean and crisp around the edges. The Voltage Cherry Modular, let's see, where's that? Yeah, Voltage Modular is a lot more, as far as the modules I have anyway, a lot warmer, a lot more sort of Moog styled, a little fatter and warmer. Let's open that up. Let's just have a little battle between the two. I like both the whole modular setup because you can create patches that run on their own and just kind of like don't rely so much on the DAW. It's a whole other way of thinking. There we go. I was curious. I thought I had a filter on it. Yeah, so here's the dust one. And Voltage is a CPU hog for sure as well. So I think one of the things I'm not enjoying, of course, is this sort of atypical notes, you know, random notes thing going on. So if we get a scale here, and I think we should put this first so we get more random notes coming out of here. And let's try a major. Cool. And let's get a probability gate going on here. And honestly, we could build all this stuff inside of here in VCV Rack if we wanted. Let's see, I think it's GM Prob. Yes, this one from our project folder. So let's space out some of these notes. Sounds like some real chintzy arcade type of stuff. Okay, let's get rid of this. Let's try texture synth. Now it looks like we've got inputs and outputs, so that's going to be an audio effect. Let's do something odd and pull out from the mixer, and if we hold down Control, at least on PC, I'm not sure what it is on the Mac, you can drag a second knob out of there, and or it looks like we've got left and right here. So stereo in there. Okay, let's. Let's save this before something crashes and goes terribly wrong. And we didn't really use this LFO. We could drag some of these onto various parameters. We could also drag these and mess with the you know, self-oscillate things a little bit. Turn you down. Well, let's just go ahead and remove that. You could easily make an effect like that with VCV modular. And I have not messed with a lot of these modules. I mean, that's kind of the fun of this, is that you have so many options at your fingertips. You can just get in here and, you know, just click on a brand. And I mean, look at all these, just one brand. It's kind of insane. There's so many. You've got all these, you know, types, resonators. There is the Audible, let me think, real popular, a lot of popular developers have ported some of their physical hardware ones into these modules, like at least I know on VCV 1.0 you've got like clouds and things like that, which is pretty awesome. Real popular physical modules. So this way you can play around with stuff. You could essentially build your perfect rack and then buy all the parts for the most part and create a physical one. So that's one really good thing about VCV. And partly maybe why the guy decided to make it in the first place. Who knows? There is a lot of physical hardware module developers that are creating software versions. Now we get some VC from here, some FMs. Yeah, immediately like R2D2, hello, R2D2. Maybe just a little bit on that. Like this pulse width thing going on here. Let's modulate that with this. Almost kind of doubles our LFO somehow. It's and unfortunately, this tri-LFO doesn't have any ports that allow you to modulate the frequency of these. That would be really useful. But the good news is we can easily make a knob in Ableton and get something like the envelope follower. So combining forces between your DAW and something like this, you can get some probably really incredible results in good time. I think I had already mapped this one, yes. I wonder if we change, can we type this frequency? No, I think it just stays as the number. I was wondering if we would get a better readout here. Let's have a listen to if we take an LFO and map it to that frequency. So essentially we have ourselves a, I mean, it's not a great patch, but it's something. One thing I was thinking we could do is we could remove this smoke from this one and we could make a second, like an effect here. I'm thinking let's try that. Let's actually get another instance of VCV Rack, the effect version, and let's let's get our, I think we just need core audio. Yeah, audio 1, and then smoke, I believe. It's texture synth, yes. And let's see, it looks like there was there a second one? It's like South Pole. Oh, maybe these are the same thing. Yeah, I guess so. Look, oh, this one's a little bit different here. It's got a slightly different look. I mean, maybe it is the exact same. Everything else looks the exact same. So I'm going to assume they just changed the look of it a little bit. Hard to say. So let's take from our output, which is a little confusing. You would think, well, I guess it's out from this audio, so that kind of makes sense. Let's go from there into here. I did not do that right. There we go. And let's make some of these open for business. Here we go. We just have to move them a little bit. And we can right click and we can choose initialize, and that moves all the knobs back to their default 0.5 you can see across the board. Okay, cool. So it looks like we could use a little gain, yeah. All right, let's save that. Let's remove the smoke from this one. I don't think we need this one anymore. And I think we should get a utility in on this one. And so far I'm hearing the smoke is pretty digitally. It sounds kind of crusty, you know, which if you're playing live, most people aren't going to notice that. If people are listening to your music through headphones really closely, yeah, they're going to notice the crust. Now, we could try oversampling stuff. Unfortunately, this version of VCV does not let you oversample per module. I don't even know if the 2.0 lets you do that anyway. Let's delete this. Sorry, 2.0. I'm just talking out my ass. 1.0. Cool. Okay, so I wanted to get some things automating here. Modulating, I should say. Let's do a random on that and a smooth on that. Smooth, random. Definitely weird synthy textureville, and we may want to remove this. I'm not sure if this is ultimately where we want to go here. Wish you could rename these, because it's hard to tell what is what. Well, we'll get around to this resonator. Oh, it looks like some of these, if you right-click, you've got different algorithms or something. That's kind of nice. I'm not sure what disastrous piece means. I'm like actually kind of, kind of worried what that's going to do. Let's delete that for now. Alright, we can squeeze this in here. I guess we need to make some space. Very simple patch. I don't even think this is way too much mixer also for this application, but whatever. I see. So we've got our frequency here. I don't think we, yeah, let's remove that. Go back to the middle. And well, let's actually, I'm thinking maybe we'll try 49 and 50 and just like a really tiny amount of slightly out of tune. Let's see if we can type in here 49.0.5. Let's try 49.1. So subtle, but it's still maybe too much. 49.8. And let's try 50.5. 50.4. So I'm pretty sure these decimal points are, they don't show up here, but they are definitely like under the hood at work. I'm not sure what this was. Is this the filter? Oh yeah, okay. I do think VCV sounds really nice. I mean, for a freebie, it sounds amazing. Now, that's not to say all the modules that come with it are really nice. I haven't tried them all. That is a huge task to go through them all. Let's see, we want an envelope follower, and I'm thinking this is the, yeah, pulse width. So let's get the, cool, so only the really loud moments are gonna push that pulse width. And maybe we could also get the envelope follower on some things in here. I wish I could put an LFO on this right here. Maybe, can I map it maybe? I doubt it. Usually it has to be set for automation to be able to map anything, yeah. Well, let's go ahead and unmap that, and... now let's play with this here, smoke. Cool, I think blend is 100% wet. Alright, let's get some LFOs going here. And I want to put a wet and dry on this so that we can actually isolate it. Oh, not that. That's a grain delay. I don't think we want that. Now, let's play with, let's get some max, like a reverser in on this. Oh, hey, hi. Good old crashies. All right, so I'm going to pause this and we'll be back. Okay, so we're back. Unfortunately, a problem I've noticed with Ableton, I'll probably file a bug at some point about it, but when you load in a crash file, a recovered file after a crash, it loses some of the mappings on things. I don't know what's up with that. So we lost our mappings here, but strangely enough, our mappings here stuck. So let's try and remap that. It's a real unfortunate problem, because especially if you're going to rely on these a lot, and as you saw, I was dragging in a reverser Max for Life Passion. It just crashed. I mean, you're going to get crashes with Max for Life, sadly. So like to lose mappings is just like, yeah, in my book, really no bueno. So let's try, I'm just going to try to go down the line here. I think that, that might be it. Let's go ahead and save this and hope for the best. Let's get a hybrid reverb in on this. Maybe we can add some more interesting kind of, I mean, it definitely sounds really pretty that way. Granted, a little loud, but now I'm curious what happens if we duplicate this layer. So we basically have the same thing, kind of doing random stuff twice, but I want to pitch this one down like a couple octaves maybe and hope that works. So at this point, I don't think we need two different hybrid reverbs. I think we could tuck this here, either before or after our smoke. Pretty in its own way, I guess. Let's try to see if we can get some textures happening with another instance of VCV BST. One of my new favorite plugins, honestly. Let's see, Dust, I think, was the one. Yeah, Crackles. Let's see, Audio. Let's try grain. Let's do some grain. Granular. Two smokes. Texture synthesizer. Out and in. Let's just see what we get here. Awesome, let's get a filter on that. Cuts, gosh, so many filters. It's just, I mean, they could all be amazing. They could all, how about just a generic old low pass? We should definitely get some LFOs on some of these here. The only unfortunate thing about this is it's mono. So let's route it differently. Let's go from the input. What am I doing here? All right, now out into there. LFO. What is cube? Huh. Well, that's interesting. I guess we'll just try that out. We'll put that on density. And I guess you can control the speed, so maybe it, I have no idea what's what. We could try a scope out and see what it's doing. I mean, it looks like it's kind of doing a random thing. Alright, LFO1. Let's get a basic thing happening. I see. You can see with a square, it's pushing things around there. And we could send it out from this cube and further mess with the frequency based off of this. So that's getting weird. We could take an audio out from here. That's the thing I love about modular stuff, is you can really just get stupid with it. So let's pull. And let's pull out from this saw and mess with the position there. We're getting a very sort of high frequency coming out of this, and I think it... Let's see if we can get a random LFO. We've got generative, we've got roulette, and range, generative range. I'm not sure. Let's try... this all looks like your basic type of stuff. I guess you can set kind of a range. That makes sense. Nice. Let's try random noise source. There's always that. Random gates. Kind of for good generative, like pulsing type stuff. Random LFO. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is what we want. So much time needed to experiment with this. Random noise source. I mean, but these are usually pretty fast and furious. We could try it though. It does kind of make a smooth sort of sound. It sounds very much like what you would expect to come out of a modular synth patch. Not too bad, honestly. All right, cool. So we've got that down at least. So let's just start. I want to go ahead and diverge from using VCV and try some other options in there. Some other effects maybe, just spruce things up. Honestly, the more types of effects, the more brands you use, the more interesting sound you're going to get. But it does take a lot of time to go through a lot of different plugins and try them out, listen to them really closely with headphones. I couldn't recommend more using high quality earbuds to really get a sense of, like, you know, does this sound too digital or gritty? Does it sound really clean, really full? Maybe take this release down a little bit on these. just have to remember with VCV Rec to save your project, because if you don't and it crashes, you do lose some work. Before with the crash, I definitely had to adjust some things inside of here. Like some things that got lost, unfortunately. Maybe this release is something we want to automate. Now let's screen real estate. It's running out. Let's see. I've got a 4K screen here, but I'm only doing the 1080p for the capture, just so I have some space on the side for like OBS and a few other like notes and things. Oh, and I guess video. We haven't been doing video lately, but that's okay. Sometimes you just, you know, like working with VSC, taking a break from some of these basic sounds we're used to messing with a whole lot. All right, let's let's get this random thing controlling the release. See what happens there. And same with this one. And most full random, it's a little too crazy. So let's pull that down. We could also keep this at 100% and we can modulate this. I don't think the automation is going to do anything because it's mapped, but I do know if you modulate a mapped parameter, it also respects the modulation in there as well. It just factors it in like magic. And we could turn this on and off every now and then. That could be interesting. So it's not the same pitch tone all the time. A very, very minimal piece. There we go. And we can watch the knob. You can see the little blue modulation thing doing its work. So that's cool. All right, I wanted to pull in that reverser, but I'm almost afraid at this point. I'm not sure if there's just some other thing at work here that's going to cause it to crash again. I really hope not, because then we lose our mappings, but I'll just make sure to save it before doing this. That way I don't have to work from the recovered file where we lose the mappings that way. It's kind of a dumb bug. Yay. I'm not sure why it crashed before. I've actually never had a crash occur with this particular patch. Some days it seems like Ableton is just having a bad day. It just needs a hug, you know? It's just kind of like pissed off. I don't know what it is. All right. I do love a little bit of reverse sprinkled in. The wet dry 50. Just, I don't know, there's something about it, something really nice about it. I want to try something out here with duplicating this. Let's turn these off, and I want to open up this and just hit Control R on a lot of these, see what kind of dumb sounds we end up with. Control R just randomizes all the buttons inside of a module. Not sure if that's going to do anything for us. This is such a simple patch, I really don't. I do hear some cool... I like some of these little bleepy tones. And let's reroute from here. Let's, I guess this only does low pass, I see. So let's try some more randomizing on this texture synthesizer. It's great because you really just move your mouse over something. You don't even have to click on it. Obviously we need a limiter on this. And let's try a DC offset just in case. Yeah, this texture synthesizer's got some crazy things it can do. Well, let's leave it at that and see, just sit with that for a little bit. All right. Maybe we want to duplicate this and pull it in here. Let's pull it in here. And let's try just I wish we could automate the randomization of a module. I mean, there's a workaround. Obviously, we could map all of these knobs to, you know, here and then make a rack and just randomize it that way. In fact, let's just do that. that's a button also. Okay, so are these buttons? No, I think this is just sort of diagram stuff. Okay, let's group this. I'm going to save this, trying to get much better at saving a lot. Because I think I'm starting to understand some of the weird nuances like that. When I hit save and it does that jerking kind of sound, it's not a crash. It's actually just Ableton struggling to save on this flash drive. Maybe one of the weird quirks of Windows or this particular type of computer that I'm using. Let's add another row of knobs, and there we go. And now we can bust out our nifty Max for Live patch. Yeah, this one right here. And let's see if we can watch it do its thing. Make sure it's working. Oh, beautiful. And I'm not sure if it's actually working on these buttons at all, of course. But let's go ahead and let's get an LFO on that. Let's use our new MIDI LFO. And I think we need the bin in order for this thing to work. There we go. Fun with generative randomness. And I want to, let's try to use some of these on other things. Cool. I think I kind of like some of that weird flitting about of volume, so let's use our auto dial for that and get that on this gain here. I'm going to map this so that we can adjust the range of our gain to be only going up to 0. And let's map to this. Move that around. Gain, looks like it worked. Let's adjust this. As you remember from last time, this is speed. Okay, let's let's record, I guess. I do love this auto dial because it just kind of, at least when quantized mode is off, it runs based on this arbitrary speed you give it. It's not like a, you know, so if you have a bunch of these, they'll all just kind of run on their own, at their own will. Yeah, let's get another one of these in here. And also, I guess, you know, instead of a utility, we could just modulate the chain volume here. We could actually map that to a knob and limit the top of it to be 0. Now that I'm sat with these two VSDs, I could hear some more stereo things happening with those. It's really pretty, I think, what they're doing, especially with this, like, sort of distant reverb. Cool. Doing that maintenance. Alright, so I'm just jumping around here. Let's all this volume and map it to here. Makes these a little more haphazardous, I think. Very cool. We'll save that. And let's get one of those auto dials on this reverser knob here. Probably want to add them as well to the volume of these too. You can get a lot of cool random styles of modulations with this. We could put a grain delay here, but I'm afraid that it might just add that kind of atypical grain delay grit. Which again, if you export, if you render out, well, let's see here, and you choose, you know, one of these higher rates, I do promise this grain delay does sound better. It's not terrible anyway. It's a little muffly, but now let's try this. Oh, this is our reverser, not our distant verb. And these are almost a little too bright. We could open up the VST rack and add in our own filters, but at this point, I'm just going to add in this thing, and let's use this here. Map that, and we'll map it to this frequency, and we can just adjust this down, and these two will run off sync at some point. Let's save that. And get a little bit of shelf going. Now, let's yes, I wanted to get some stereo something or the other on these. Too many ideas all at once. That almost sounds nice. Since we're in the key of C and we're... Cool. I think we want another auto dial on that decay. And map that there and just let her rip. Didn't map properly, which is annoying. It's definitely a bug in this auto dial. All right, stereo. Let's chorus ensemble or phaser flanger. We don't really mess with this one too much. Spread, that's our stereo right there. A lot of strange things going down. Let's play with our tempo always. Just bonkers, I tell you. So let's play with that. Got some honks going on. Got some some surly saxophone players in the background. Also, our transport pause. I wanna get a little bit of that going on here, because by golly, there's some interesting things happening when you pause. Like how these notes sort of tail off. So we need a yes, auto dial. I am staring right at it as per usual. G map. Let's. Okay, and I think for this I'm going to draw just on and off. I think that's all we want, because I know if you turn this thing on and off really quick, it restarts this from 0. So we'll have it play, and actually let's slow this down. All right, let's give that a go. Oh no, that speeds it up. I see. Yeah, we want to just make sure that's working. Oh, I think when we change the speed, we lose our drawing. So we've got on and off. It should turn on here in just a bit. Okay, cool. Maybe that was on. See, this reset to 1. I'm not sure what's up with that. It has a lot to do with the smoothing. Let's turn that off. We should just pause it instead of jumping it back to 1. Yes. So I think I want to try something even weirder. Let's unmap this and map this to a macro knob, and then remap this macro knob to here. And let's get in there. We need to get a clip going. Tempo transport biz. Let's play that, and let's get some modulation happening here. We'll just have this also. I want to, yeah, a lot longer span than that. Longer offs. There we go. Well, let's do that. And so this is running on its own without the transport, so we should hopefully not see too many resets here. I guess we'll just keep an eye on that. Now, let's get our tempo. Tempo. Ah, that's an audio. I always forget. Some of these I wish you could just convert on the fly, you know, just wherever you drop it, and it would internally just change the guts of it. All right, now we want to, let's get another auto style going on here. Clear that. And let's map to that. Yes, nope. LD2 I know is the wrong one. Target tempo, okay. And let's push play on this and just draw some stuff here. It's probably gonna go, yeah, way high up. And in fact, we could also do here what we did there, and let's unmap this. Map this to here, and we can, yeah, instead of 999, let's go as high as 170 and then 28. So just some arbitrary kind of range for now. And let's also map this to here. And let's get rid of all that. Cool, okay. Now let's map this to here. Not sure what that's going to do, but we'll sit with that. Are we getting anything here? It doesn't look like this is really affecting that at all. Just I'm not sure what's happening with that. Target tempo. Huh, okay. Maybe we need to get like a smooth curve happening here. I'm not sure if that's going to do anything. Yeah, that's super weird. So I guess we don't want to map this to here. I'm not sure why, but it's not working. So we'll just leave this out and then go ahead and demap that. Oh, demap that, move this. And then, so that seems to work okay. So we'll just leave that target tempo, and then this will be set tempo. Demap that. And we just need on and off for this one, really. I think we can adjust this without messing up our So is it doing anything? Ah, we need to map. We need to map it. There we go. Now it should hopefully start flipping two different tempos. Ah, yes, I see what's going on. We're getting some really crazy fast ones, which may not be a bad thing. And of course we just spent, you know, 10, 15 minutes on this one stupid little idea. And sometimes, you know, sometimes you do that. Sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes you're just like, why the fuck did I just waste so much of my life? I always forget what this... Oh wow, really got that sort of like intro to the 80s movie kind of... Got to see that logo, that sweet laser logo flying across the screen. Yeah, with this thing, when you hit draw and you hit this X, it doesn't actually close it. This draw button, so when you open your project back up, those windows just pop right up. So you really have to hit this button in order to actually shut the window. It's kind of weird. So this auto dial thing it's a bit wonky. I didn't actually make this. I altered it so that you could run it sort of like self-oscillate it without having to have the quantize on and this the transport on in order for it to run. And then I added these in, the little this changes the speed and this changes the length of the actual loop. So just small little changes. I often find that I download Max patches and I really love most of what it can do. So I get in there and just like alter little bits for my own taste and purposes, which is great. You can do that you can't just like lock your patch down so nobody can mess with it. And also I'll find patches where I want to add something, you know, and so I'm either, you know, fixing something or adding something or taking a part of one patch and moving it into another patch. That's a lot of fun. It's, you know, it's not so different in some ways than building in VCV. It's like just a whole other slightly different paradigm, but you're still connecting wires and things like that. So lots of fun, so much endless experimentation. And I guess that's the fun of it. Oh, are we gonna crash? It's definitely thinking about it. See, like I want to alter this so that you can just only do semitones versus dialing in these really like micro between notes type of stuff, so that I can just move this freely and circus, crazy circus. Awesome. Well, I think I'm good with this. As far as a sketch goes, you know, it's not 100%, you know, as far as any type of song goes. But as far as sketches go, yeah, I mean, typically, you know, your sketches are going to ultimately be like half finished or just one simple part of an idea, and you know, you'll be able to pick it back up, and maybe we'll pick this back up later on, or you know, maybe not. We'll see. But at least it was fun to mess with VCV Rack, the VCVST version. Highly recommend downloading that. Obviously, you'll have to make this particular patch work. It's pretty self-contained, which is nice. The actual VCV program, you do have to sort of download a lot of things, but VCVST, all the modules that come with it are just already in the package there. So once you log into this website, you do have to scroll all the way down and you'll see some download links. Otherwise, it's a GitHub page. It's mostly just like the actual code, which is great. It's open source. If you know how to code, then sweet. You can make your own modules, or you can alter this plugin however you want. Well, I guess until next time, keep it weird, keep it modular.
Mm-hmm.